Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, lucky patrons are keeping one Torrance convenience store busy. We'll tell you why.
And Michelle Bachmann caused an uproar with her comments about the HPV vaccine. We'll bring you local reaction from parents and doctors.
Then the coast is cleaner thanks to some dedicated volunteers.
Plus, this reporter has a bird's eye view of what's happening in LA.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. Thanks for joining us.
Here are your top stories. 62,000 Southern California grocery workers were ready to walk off the job, but the United Food and Commercial Workers Union reached a tentative agreement with the owners of Ralph's, Albertsons, and Vaughn's Pavilions. Employees had been working without a contract since March. Healthcare was the major issue at the negotiating table. These days, supermarkets are hard-pressed to keep as many employees as they can. Today, food store chains face stiff competition with the advent of specialty food stores like Trader Joe's and the entry of major discounters such as Walmart and Target into the grocery business.
Well, speaking of grocery stores, the popular Fresh Market on Torrance and Crenshaw Boulevard closed its doors for good this month. The chain of Korean supermarkets had been steadily losing business at all of their locations. The Garden Grove-based company closed down their Garden Grove and Tustin locations as well. The Torrance store, which opened in 2007, appears to be the last one to close. There's no word yet as to who will take over the retail location.
The Daily Breeze has a new publisher. Jack Clunder will replace Linda Lindis, who served as publisher for 2 years. Clunder was publisher of the LA Daily News, but now he will oversee the entire Los Angeles News Group's Metro division. In addition to overseeing operations at the Daily Breeze, Clunder will continue his responsibilities at LA Daily News. He will also manage the Press Telegram in Long Beach, the Palos Verdes Peninsula News, the Beach Reporter, Gazette newspapers, and Impacto.
And while the Daily Breeze may bring us the South Bay news, residents can now receive Torrance-specific news thanks to the city's new e-newsletter. The e-newsletter is a weekly publication that will feature events and activities ranging from library events, cultural, recreation, and park information, and much, much more. It's an easy and convenient way to stay informed on city events. Sign up today to receive the debut issue. Just go to torranceca.gov/e-newsletter.htm.
A familiar face in Torrance may be exploring options for higher power. Torrance School Board member Al Muratsuchi may be a new candidate for the open seat in the new 66th Assembly District. While a formal announcement hasn't been made yet, Muratsuchi did state he's formed an exploratory committee. Muratsuchi is a Deputy Attorney General with the California Department of Justice. The new district, maps drawn by the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission, split the South Bay's 53rd District into 3. Assemblywoman Betsy Butler, who currently represents the 53rd District, recently announced she will run for the 50th District seat. The 66th District includes most of the South Bay, including the beach cities, Torrance, and the Palos Verdes Peninsula.
Well, it's everyone's dream to win the lotto, and dreams do come true at Three Kings Liquor in Torrance. The store has become a hotspot for lottery goers since 1989, when a super lotto worth $5.4 million was won. Hibas Ahmed was at Three Kings Liquor with customers who are hoping to be the next big winner.
Thank you, Big Al. Yes. Yes.
We have a winner.
Yes, me too.
Dave Creo, who's been coming to Three Kings Liquor Store for 6 years, as well as other devoted customers, rushed to get their Mega Million lottery ticket, hoping to win the jackpot that's worth over $75 million. And they had one word at the tip of their tongues.
Please, be lucky.
This place is like, it's the golden gem. They're very nice people, and it's a very lucky place.
But today, Brian Baker lucked out twice in a row, off scratchers, winning more than $455. Three Kings Liquor over the years has become known as a place for winning, and one person recently even bought the lucky ticket worth over $429,000 from Kings Liquor. But who this person is still remains a mystery, and the owner of the store says,
people come here, make money, and
They'd be happy, I'll be happy.
Someone will be feeling even greater as the jackpot will increase by Friday. I asked customers what they would do with the money if they win, and they all had the same answers.
I'd share it for sure, but, I guess only luck will tell.
Probably share it, give it to family and friends, and don't want to have all that money by myself,
While I didn't win today, many researchers have found that when the economy is bad, lottery revenues go up.
I'm playing every day and too much, and it's not good in this situation, this economy.
This customer didn't want to be on camera, but showed me his trunk filled with thousands of scratchers and talked about how he once won $3,000 at King's Liquor. But tonight, after buying 70 tickets, he wasn't so lucky. California sales have soared more than 13% in 2011, reaching nearly $3.44 billion. And lottery slogans like "all it takes is $1 and a dream" may come true for someone this Friday.
I think it gives us something to dream on with hope and faith.
For CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. Lottery organizers say to always sign the back of your ticket just in case you lose it. Three King Liquor is located at 190th Street near Anza in Torrance. Up next on This Week in Torrance, we'll show you how some volunteers turned a day at the beach into an important cleanup.
And we'll tell you how some local parents feel about a controversial vaccine.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Volunteers turned out along the county's coastline recently, but this wasn't your typical beach party. Reporter Hiba Samad explains.
Just cleaning up the beaches and, making the environment better for everyone.
This is what Kendall Hornacek and 760 volunteers set out to do for the 26th Annual National Coastal Cleanup Day.
Well, it's clean already, in a sense. So what they find here isn't a lot, but still, I think it makes them look a little harder.
Still, there was trash to be found. Torrance Beach volunteers collected 138 pounds of trash this year.
A lot of styrofoam, which is really bad. Lots of little pieces of styrofoam. We've got some chip wrappers, candy wrappers.
But Zoha Sayed found one of the most common wastes.
We found a cigarette butt and I think that's a rubber.
While others found the not so common items.
What's wrong? We can see that here, because that's going to probably be our most unusual.
Thanks to coordinators American Honda, Heal the Bay, and Torrance Chamber of Commerce, gave sports teams like Little League Basketball, Torrance Defenders, and community groups the opportunity to participate in their first ever beach cleanup.
Make people more aware of how the trash gets here in the first place and how to prevent it from getting here, so we don't have to do this.
I just think it's really important to do this because it's so important for our future and for our children and the environment.
Torrance is one of the only locations that are recognized by Heal the Bay as a zero-waste site, so beach cleaners out here today have been using reusable pails as well as bags. While Torrance may be one of the cleaner beaches in the South Bay, every year the numbers always seem to increase in trash.
For how much, we try to promote not to litter and produce the trash, there's still a lot more that's produced every year. So it's a never-ending battle.
But the battle was fought well by volunteers throughout the day, making the stay the largest 24-hour volunteer effort on the planet. For CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thank you, Hiba. And here are more results from Coastal Cleanup Day. 11,000 volunteers cleaned up an 86-mile stretch in L.A. County. Torrance Beach had its largest volunteer turnout this year, and together, 22 tons of trash were removed from county beaches and waterways. For more information, go to healthebay.org.
The recent Tea Party presidential debate brought up many controversial topics, but the most controversial one had nothing to do with the economy or the war on terror. The HPV vaccine may not have been widely known before the debate, but now misinformation about the vaccine is causing an uproar in the medical community. Reporter Hiba Samad explains.
Well, I will tell you that I had a mother last night come up to me here in Tampa, Florida after the debate. She told me that her little daughter took that vaccine, that injection, and she suffered from mental retardation thereafter. It can have very dangerous side effects.
Michelle Bachmann's comments have sparked a debate in the political and public spheres. But is the human papillomavirus vaccine really something to be concerned about? After speaking with Dr. Frances McKenzie, she helped put everything into perspective.
HPV stands for the human papilloma virus. It is a vaccine. So it's the vaccine to help protect against cancer of the cervix. A couple of strains is actually also to help prevent genital warts.
The vaccines Gardasil and Cervarix are the only two approved shots given to preteen and teen girls over a 6-month period. The vaccines are already required in Washington, D.C. and Virginia, but some states are still on the fence.
It's actually a fantastic vaccine. It's helped to decrease cervical cancer by 80%. So it's very preventative. It's something that, we actually haven't had.
Bachmann may be concerned about the physical effects of the vaccine, but the underlying issue may also be age. Some parents and lawmakers don't like the idea of protecting young girls from an adult sexually transmitted infection. But Dr. McKenzie says childhood is the only time the vaccine is useful.
It's recommended between right now the ages of starting at 9 to 11 to 26 years of age. It's just not as effective after that point.
As it stands, the CDC has examined 35 deaths among 35 million young women who have received HPV shots, but found no links. Still, some parents are undecided.
I would say absolutely not. I don't vaccinate my children, and that's a belief, a personal belief.
Well, I don't really know, like I shared, I don't really know a lot about the whole thing. I just know that with every medication, there's pros and cons to everything.
Dr. McKenzie believes this is the problem. People don't have enough information and must be educated.
To really educate themselves a little bit better about the vaccine, because I think once you really realize what cervical cancer is, what it can do to your daughters, what it can do to yourself.
Cervical cancer affects 12,000 women each year, and doctors are even looking to vaccinate young men. And as for Bachmann, her comments may not have affected her presidential campaign, but has caused quite an uproar amongst parents and the medical community. For CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. Bachmann says her comments were meant to underscore the consequences of government interference, but she was swiftly criticized by the medical community for spreading information that was misleading and incorrect. Scientists spoke up loudly to defend the vaccine, saying that while it may cause allergic reactions in a small number of recipients, there's no evidence of a connection to the onset of mental retardation. For more information, go to the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov.
California is no stranger to earthquakes, but what about large-scale emergencies? CitiCABLE 3's Jacqueline Quinn reports on what the Community Emergency Response Team is doing for volunteer responders in the event of an actual crisis.
Help! We need help!
30 new graduates have survived grueling training in dealing with natural hazards as well as man-made ones to become certified disaster service workers.
The power outage is a perfect example, and we use that as a lesson in class. That's not a major disaster. It was less than 24 hours without one utility, yet look at the chaos it caused. You know, there was fights, there were people, they were stranded.
In the event of an actual crisis, there won't be enough professional responders to answer every call immediately. This is where community responders step in.
We used to say have supplies for 3 days, and now because of Japan, it's 5 to 7 because, look at the length of time those people were without basic necessities.
The final drill tested volunteers on how to extinguish fires, search and rescue procedures, and how to triage injured people. Chris Northrup says training has taught him how to avoid becoming a victim himself.
It's extremely helpful because you can be a part of your community. You can do something. You can be a part of what's going on around you.
Laura Callan says she felt an adrenaline rush during training and thinks she's ready for the real thing.
Once you get organized, it runs more like an efficient tool.
It's a 3-week course, and training is still free of charge to residents and business members in Torrance. CitiCABLE 3, Jacqueline Quinn.
Thank you, Jacqueline. For those who are already certified, refresher courses are also offered twice a year. Sign-up info is available on the City of Torrance's CERT website.
The new school year is underway, and around most campuses, student drop-offs and pickups can get pretty chaotic. Reporter Hiba Samad tells us how parents can help make before and after school safer.
Most schools have limited parking.
We all get here on time to pick our kids and our grandkids up, and then when we're ready to leave, we can't get out because, they're parked next to us. But where are we supposed to park?
Vicky Aridia is frustrated with some parents who double park. With the increase of cars during the school year, many parents are ignoring signs and parking illegally. And that means traffic enforcement is showing an increased presence at all campuses.
We have officers that are assigned to each school. We have school resource officers as well as traffic officers, including myself, go by the different schools to make sure that we're not having parking issues. Safety is our biggest concern.
Kids entering and exiting cars in the middle of the street can be dangerous, so double parkers are receiving citations. Many of the traffic issues here in the Torrance School District have been regarding signs like the one right behind me. This sign is a loading zone sign where parents are not allowed to park their car here and go pick up their children. Most schools are located in residential areas, but it's still been difficult for the community to park in the right place and also keep their kids safe. For Vicky Aridia, loading zones are often the only places available.
That's why I always park on this side, because this is the second year here. I've seen so many people walking across the street and almost get hit.
There are other places parents can park and help keep everyone safe. Here are some tips from officers. If you live close by, walk your kids to school. Park on side streets. Drop kids off at crosswalks with guards. And leave early to beat traffic.
As a parent, I will ask everybody to try not to double park and come on time or ask somebody else a favor so that they don't get a ticket or double park, and we'll all be safe.
For CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
To your death. A massive earthquake has rocked the city. Worst natural disaster this region has ever witnessed.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
Time was, kids did what came naturally, spending free time running through the grass, exploring streams. But times have changed. Today's indoor kids spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. Outdoor play improves kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity, and could even make them better students. There's a reason they call it the Great Outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
G Morning Sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me.
Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
If you love ice cream and want to help children, come out to Cold Stone Creamery on Tuesday, September 27th from 5 to 8 p.m. Torrance firefighters will help serve free 3-ounce ice cream creations to anyone who donates to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. For more information, go to wish.org. And finally, there's more to helicopter piloting and reporting than freeway chases and car chases. CitiCable's Jacqueline Quinn lands at the Western Museum of Flight to learn about the job's high stakes from helicopter reporter Tim Lynn.
Tim Lynn has been a local news reporter for nearly 10 years, but unlike most reporters, he gathers and reports news from a news chopper. He began his lecture by emphasizing one point.
I fly first, I report second, and they understand that at the station.
Lynn is constantly working with his news desk and listening to the scanner to find stories, but usually he has no idea what he'll be covering, and that's the way he likes it.
That's one of the parts that I really enjoy, is the freedom and also the area of where I might be sent. It's different every day, and that's what keeps it fresh for me.
Having an airborne reporter is crucial in local news, but getting to the scene faster doesn't make it any easier, especially when it's live.
The everyday challenge is getting to the scene first and getting the story on the air first and getting it right the first time.
And then there's the kind of danger reporters on the ground don't have to worry about.
You ask the question about what happens if the engine quits. Engine just quit. So I forward airspeed, pick up first thing, get your collective down, forward airspeed to 60 knots, 65 knots. Pick your spot where you're going to go, and I'm auto-rotating, flat pitch on the collective. At this point, I start leveling out, put it down, come to a stop.
Despite the challenges, Lynn has no plans of stopping anytime soon. And after retiring from 30 years of service in law enforcement, you might call reporting Lynn's second job, but that's not how he sees it.
I don't look at it as a job. It's a profession that I really enjoy. I've made the joke about when it turns into a job, I'm going to quit.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Jacqueline Quinn.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Lynn's visit to the Western Museum of Flight is part of their celebrity lecture series. For more information, go to WMOF.org. And that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.